You are probably familiar with the operation of a photocopying machine. When you need several copies of your documents, it works as a middleman. The photocopying machine, despite its tremendous technological capabilities, nevertheless requires human intervention to operate. Humans must pay the electric bill, someone must check when the machine is low on paper and toner, and someone must order more stock of those. After the papers and toner arrive, someone must restock the machine, place the toner in the cartridge, and even more importantly, someone must operate it. So, despite the fact that this is a technology box created to make people's lives easier, it still requires humans. It's clever money here, everyone, and in this video, I will explain what a DAO is, how they work, and give some instances of situations where they could be useful. Let's get started. First and foremost, what is a DAO? A DAO is an abbreviation that stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. This generally translates to an organization run by code agreed upon by the DAO's founders. If you are smart enough to program them, smart contracts can do almost anything. This means that instead of asking your boss for a raise or determining who to recruit from a list of applications, a smart contract will take care of these responsibilities, making the entire firm self-sustaining or autonomous. Let me expand on the photocopying machine example we gave in the introduction to help you understand. If a photocopying machine were a DAO, every component of the process that required a human would be replaced by code. Or at the very least, a code version of humans, perhaps a robot. Basically, we will make sure that the photocopying machine would automatically check if it needed a new batch of papers or toners. And if it did, we'd make sure that it could communicate the information to its server about which materials needed to be restocked. The papers and toner would be delivered to the machine and replaced by a robot. And the robot will actually be the one to operate the photocopier. In actuality, this does not appear to be conceivable, yet it is how a DAO functions. Do you know how big companies like Apple, Netflix, and Walmart all have board meetings? At these board meetings, shareholders of the companies get together and vote and make decisions for the company. And then the CEOs of the company make sure that the decisions are actually carried out using the company's chain of command. There are no CEOs in a DAO. Instead, once a decision is made, the platform's code is modified and the entire company is changed at the same time. Now, the goal is for computers and code to handle a large portion of the decision making and routine tasks that a business requires to function. DAOs, like individuals, can improve and expand indefinitely since their shareholders can propose and vote on improvements. A DAO will typically start with a few million tokens in the crypto world. Every token represents a vote, and the person with the most tokens gets to have the most votes. This provides the tokens a value as well as a purpose. It also enables the DAO to improve, grow, and evolve in tandem with the rest of the world. This currently involves recruiting and voting on salaries, as well as technically employing developers within the autonomous company. It would simply pay them in cryptocurrencies after that. In the example of a photocopier, we may state that if it were used for business and produced any earnings, it would redistribute them completely to share its shareholders using its native DAO token. There are a variety of ways this could happen. But if the photocopying machine DAO makes a profit, any token holder should see an increase in value. So holding a DAO token is far more valuable than any other meaningless token you could see on the crypto subreddit, thanks to the potential profit and voting rights. Next, I'd want to discuss some of the advantages of a DAO. The first and most important feature of a DAO is that it is completely trustworthy. In truth, you don't have to entrust your decision-making abilities to any CEO, manager, or leader. Even if a major developer abandons the project or if money disappears, the program or the organization as a whole will continue. Another advantage is that they cannot be turned off. In the case of huge enterprises or any major government agency, the government can potentially step in and shut the whole thing down, and you'd be obligated to comply if you're in the United States. In a DAO, the only way this could happen is if they obtained a big number of tokens and then presented a proposal to be voted on, followed by a fair voting process. To put it another way, a government cannot cut ahead of the line. The final advantage of a DAO is that it is open source. DAOs are also open source, meaning that their code is available for anybody to examine and develop. Because additional programmers may help the main developers identify their faults in their code and even suggest ways to solve them, open source projects are usually far more dependable. Despite the fact that there are numerous advantages of a DAO, I am also going to discuss two disadvantages. The primary disadvantage is that they are attackable. Because everyone can look at the code, it may also be looked at by attackers. If the attackers have a thorough understanding of the code, they may reverse engineer the attacks and even test the code before distributing it to ensure that it works. If it does, the DAO could be attacked. The second disadvantage we discovered is that there are no business secrets. Research and development is frequently business information on which companies have spent a lot of money and time with little to show for it. They do it now in the expectation that it will pay off one day, and that the payback will be significant because no other company has its advantage. Business secrets are difficult to keep hidden in a DAO. However, because the code is all open source and anyone can look at how the DAO is set up. So now we will go into the DAO story, which we believe is important for you to know. The DAO is a venture capital fund that was founded in 2016 and is well known for failing. In fact, this project drew in around $150 million from around 20,000 investors. The DOA's account was stolen and the perpetrators made off with $50 million worth of Ethereum. This is the reason for the existing of Ethereum in Ethereum Classic. The old blockchain, Ethereum Classics, still has the money hacked on it. Developers of the blockchain, on the other hand, realized that it wasn't ethical for someone to steal $50 million and that they could create a new blockchain where the money was returned. This is how we got to where we are now with Ethereum. In fact, Ethereum's core developers performed a so-called hard fork. So in summary, we employ individuals in companies right now. However, smart contracts and codes may be used in the future. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and turn on our notifications so you don't miss anything from us. That is it for today. Stay safe and I'll see you next time.